In the twilight of life, as the sun dips below the horizon of our many years, we often find ourselves cherishing the quiet moments, the hard-earned tranquility that comes with experience. We've navigated the storms, celebrated the joys, and learned the profound wisdom that only time can bestow. And as we stand here, on the precipice of our golden years, a new understanding dawns. Not every chapter of our story needs to be read aloud to everyone. Some passages are meant for our own hearts, held close and cherished in the sanctuary of our inner world. Think back to the bustling marketplace of your younger days, the constant exchange of words, ideas, and emotions. Honesty felt like the bedrock of connection, transparency the very air we breathed in our relationships. Yet, as the seasons turned, a subtle shift occurred. We began to discern that sometimes, the most profound wisdom resides not in the spoken word, but in the thoughtful pause, the gentle restraint. It's not about building walls or fostering secrets, but about cultivating a garden of peace within and around us, carefully choosing what seeds to sow in the fertile ground of our family relationships. After 6 decades and a half of life's rich tapestry, we've earned the right to curate our own inner sanctum, to safeguard our energy, and to hold certain aspects of our journey as sacred. This isn't a retreat from love or connection, but rather a mindful step towards preserving the emotional freedom and independence we've so diligently cultivated. In the unfolding moments of this video, we will explore 5 vital areas of your life where a touch of discretion can blossom into profound peace and stronger, more harmonious family bonds. If the pursuit of a serene and fulfilling later life resonates deeply within you, if the idea of navigating family dynamics with grace and preserving your hard-won autonomy strikes a chord, then you've arrived at the right place. Stay with me on this journey of gentle wisdom, and if the insights we share illuminate your path, consider joining our community of kindred spirits, wise hearts embracing the beauty and tranquility of their later years. Subscribe, ring the bell, and let's walk this path together. Let's delve into the first realm where a mindful approach to sharing can yield significant peace, financial decisions and assets. The accumulation of a lifetime's worth of effort, the careful planning for a secure future. These are testaments to your diligence and foresight. It's natural to feel a sense of responsibility to keep your loved ones informed, to perhaps even offer a sense of reassurance about the years to come. The impulse to be fully transparent about your financial landscape, your savings, investments, and long-term plans, often stems from a desire to prevent future uncertainties or anxieties within the family. The thought, "If I lay it all out now, there will be no surprises later," seems logical and well-intentioned. However, the reality of family dynamics can often introduce complexities that we might not anticipate. The very act of revealing the intricate details of your financial life can inadvertently open the door to a cascade of unsolicited opinions, well-meaning but potentially intrusive advice, and even subtle, or not-so-subtle, pressures. This is particularly true when generational perspectives on money management, investment strategies, and even lifestyle choices diverge significantly. What you see as prudent planning, a younger generation might perceive as overly cautious, or vice versa. Consider the poignant story of Eleanor, a vibrant 76-year-old who had diligently built a comfortable retirement through decades of dedicated work as a teacher and careful saving. Proud of her achievements in wanting to ease any potential future concerns, she shared the specifics of her investment portfolio and her intentions for her estate with her 2 adult children. She envisioned a conversation filled with relief and understanding. Instead, the discussion took an unexpected turn. Her son, a budding entrepreneur with a penchant for high-risk ventures, immediately questioned her conservative investment choices, suggesting she could be earning significantly more. Her daughter, a pragmatic homemaker, expressed concern about the upkeep of her house, hinting that perhaps downsizing would be a more sensible financial move at her age. The well-intentioned transparency morphed into a barrage of suggestions and implied criticisms. Eleanor, who had always felt confident in her financial acumen, suddenly found herself on the defensive, feeling the need to justify decisions she had made with careful consideration over many years. The sense of control she had always enjoyed began to subtly erode. This scenario, while perhaps not malicious in intent, highlights a crucial point. The moment you unveil the specifics of your financial life without clearly defined boundaries, you risk relinquishing a degree of the very independence you have strived to maintain throughout your life. Even the most loving family members can, unintentionally, cross the line, believing they are offering helpful guidance when, in reality, they are subtly undermining your autonomy and peace of mind. Furthermore, in less fortunate circumstances, the revelation of financial security can attract attention from quarters that were previously indifferent. Distant relatives may suddenly become more attentive, long-lost acquaintances might resurface with newfound interest, and even within the immediate family, dynamics can shift based on perceived financial resources rather than genuine connection. We've all heard stories, perhaps even witnessed firsthand, the unsettling phenomenon of individuals whose interest in an aging relative seems to correlate directly with the size of their estate. A cousin who hasn't called in years suddenly becomes a regular visitor. A grandchild, previously uninterested in family history, begins asking pointed questions about wills and inheritances. While not always driven by ill intent, these shifts can feel deeply uncomfortable and erode the sense of trust and genuine affection. Therefore, the wisdom that often comes with age whispers a gentle reminder: it is perfectly acceptable, even prudent, to maintain a degree of privacy regarding your financial affairs. This is not an act of secrecy, but rather a conscious choice to protect your peace and preserve the integrity of your relationships. You are under no obligation to provide a detailed accounting of your assets to anyone. You do not need to justify every financial decision you make, whether it's a well-deserved vacation, a comfortable new piece of furniture, or an investment in your health and well-being. These are personal choices, made with your own life experience and priorities in mind. The freedom to make these choices without external scrutiny is a fundamental aspect of your independence. This is not to suggest a lack of foresight in planning for the future. On the contrary, it is wise and responsible to have your estate in order, to establish a trusted power of attorney, and to create a clear and legally sound will. Designating a reliable individual to communicate your wishes when the time is right is an act of love and responsibility. However, sharing every intricate detail prematurely can shift the balance of power, subtly transforming your family's role from one of trust in your management of your life to one of feeling entitled to manage it for you. Once the door to constant financial scrutiny is opened, it can be exceedingly difficult to close. If you find yourself feeling as though your financial decisions are being more closely watched than your well-being, or if you begin to second-guess your purchases out of concern for others' opinions, it's a clear signal to establish firmer boundaries. Your golden years should be a time of enjoying the fruits of your labor, free from the burden of constant justification. You have earned the right to make choices that bring you joy, comfort, and security without needing to seek external validation or approval. Your financial future is a direct result of your life's efforts, and you are unequivocally the most qualified person to determine how those resources are best utilized to enhance your well-being and peace of mind. Let this thought resonate deeply. Privacy is not synonymous with secrecy. It is a form of protection, a shield for your peace of mind and a safeguard for your autonomy. Engage in conversations about finances thoughtfully and with measured discretion. Invite others into the specifics of your financial life only when you are confident that they will respect your boundaries and honor your right to make your own decisions. Your independence in this realm is not something you should have to explain or defend. It is a fundamental right earned through a lifetime of responsibility. Protect it with the same diligence and care that you have applied to safeguarding every other aspect of your life that you hold dear. The second area where discretion can foster greater peace is in sharing health concerns that are not urgent. As we gracefully navigate the later chapters of our lives, it's natural for our bodies to experience the subtle shifts and minor inconveniences that come with the passage of time. A fleeting ache in a joint, a night of restless sleep, a feeling of increased fatigue after a day of activity. These are often the gentle reminders of a life well lived. The instinct to share these experiences with our children or grandchildren often stems from a place of love and a desire for connection. We want to feel seen, understood, and perhaps even a little comforted. Sharing can feel like an act of trust, a way of keeping our loved ones informed about our well-being. However, there is a delicate balance to be struck between keeping our family informed and inadvertently overwhelming them with every minor physical sensation or fleeting discomfort. Sometimes, an overabundance of shared minor health complaints can lead to unnecessary worry, heightened anxiety, and even an unintended shift in how our loved ones perceive our overall health and vitality. Consider the experience of Arthur, a spry 78-year-old who still enjoyed his daily walks and tending to his small garden. One afternoon, during a casual phone call with his daughter, he mentioned a slight stiffness in his knee after a particularly long gardening session. He thought nothing of it, a mere passing comment. The following day, Arthur found himself the recipient of a flurry of concerned messages. His daughter had already researched knee braces online, scheduled a doctor's appointment without consulting him, and began suggesting modifications to his daily routine. While Arthur knew her actions stemmed from love, he felt a subtle shift in their dynamic. He was suddenly being treated as though he were more frail and vulnerable than he actually was. When we frequently share minor health concerns, even in a seemingly casual manner, it can gradually reshape how those around us view our overall health and capabilities. They might begin to perceive us as experiencing a more rapid decline than is actually the case. This altered perception can lead to them hesitating to include us in activities we enjoy or assuming we require more assistance than we truly need. This subtle erosion of independence, even when unintentional, can be deeply frustrating and can chip away at our sense of self-reliance. It can create a feeling of being overly monitored or even pitied, which can be detrimental to our emotional well-being. This is not to advocate for concealing serious health issues that genuinely impact your daily life or require significant support. In such instances, open and honest communication with your family is undoubtedly crucial. However, for the smaller, more manageable aches, pains, and temporary discomforts that are often a natural part of the aging process, it is perfectly acceptable to keep them to yourself. This isn't an act of denial or avoidance, but rather an act of self-respect and a conscious effort to protect your right to live your life on your own terms, without the constant worry or overreaction of others to every minor physical fluctuation. Preserving a degree of privacy in this area is about safeguarding your autonomy and maintaining a sense of normalcy in your daily life. You have lived in your body for many decades, and you possess a deep understanding of its rhythms and patterns. You are well equipped to discern between what requires medical attention and what is simply a passing phase. You deserve the dignity of managing these smaller health matters in your own way, without the fear of being micromanaged or causing undue alarm. Growing older should not equate to relinquishing control over your own body and your own understanding of its needs. In fact, this stage of life often brings a heightened sense of self-awareness and a greater confidence in your own instincts. Trust your inner wisdom, and don't allow the overzealous concern of others to cloud your own self-assurance regarding your health. Ultimately, peace in your later years is not derived from having everyone constantly worrying about your minor ailments. It stems from a quiet confidence in your own ability to manage your well-being, from choosing wisely what to share, and from living with a sense of self-assuredness in your own body and its natural processes. The third area where a thoughtful silence can cultivate greater harmony is regarding your true thoughts on family conflicts. By the time we reach our mature years, we have often witnessed a multitude of family dramas unfold, disagreements over inheritances, lingering resentments between siblings, differing opinions on child-rearing or financial decisions among in-laws. Our natural inclination, often honed over years of nurturing and mediating, might be to step in, to offer a calming word, to provide a balanced perspective, or to gently guide loved ones towards resolution. However, experience often teaches us a valuable, albeit sometimes difficult, lesson. Even the most well-intentioned words can inadvertently add fuel to an already simmering conflict. Consider the well-meaning intervention of Beatrice, a kind-hearted 79-year-old, during a minor disagreement between her daughter and son-in-law regarding their child's bedtime routine. Beatrice offered a gentle suggestion based on her own experiences as a parent. The response was far from what she anticipated. Her daughter, feeling criticized in her parenting, became defensive and withdrew. The once frequent phone calls dwindled, and invitations to family gatherings became less frequent. Beatrice's loving attempt to mediate had inadvertently created a rift. As we age, we can often find ourselves unintentionally caught in the crossfire of family disputes. An attempt to mediate between two adult children can result in both feeling that you have taken the other side. A casual observation about a grandchild's behavior can be misconstrued as criticism of their parents. Trying to help two relatives find common ground can lead to being blamed when the reconciliation efforts falter. Whether your words are delivered with gentleness or with direct honesty, if the recipient is already feeling hurt, defensive, or entrenched in their position, your message can easily be misinterpreted, twisted, or used as ammunition in the ongoing conflict. The challenging reality is that once the immediate heat of the argument subsides, those involved often remember the words spoken by well-meaning bystanders more vividly than the root cause of the disagreement. These remembered words can then become new sources of resentment, sometimes lingering for years to come. Therefore, a profound piece of wisdom gleaned from the passage of time is this: silence, in certain family conflicts, is not an act of weakness or indifference, but rather a demonstration of profound wisdom in self-preservation. You are not obligated to fix every familial discord. You do not need to choose sides or offer unsolicited opinions. It is perfectly acceptable to offer a simple, "I trust you'll find a way to navigate this," accompanied by a warm smile and a step back from the fray. This allows you to protect your own emotional well-being from the unnecessary stress and potential fallout of family dramas. Most importantly, you can keep your own nuanced thoughts and observations to yourself without feeling guilty or obligated to intervene. At this stage of life, we have often learned that speaking from the heart, while often valuable, does not always guarantee understanding or resolution in emotionally charged situations. Sometimes, the most loving and supportive act is to hold our tongue, respecting the autonomy of our loved ones to navigate their own challenges, to learn from their own mistakes, and to grow through their own experiences.